What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks back with our daily Apple update video where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, key levels of support and resistance that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Apple stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are. And I would really appreciate your support there. So let me go ahead and hit record. We will get right into the video. So as you can see, small green day for Apple. We'll take a look at how it traded throughout the course of the day. It was a lot more green at some point of the day. So we gave some of it back, but still ending the day relatively green. So 2 green days in a row. I don't know if we've seen that in a really long time. So starting to move up, which is always great. So we'll take a look at that. But before we do that, I want to cover something real quick, and I kind of covered, a little bit of, what came out with the wearables, and part of that being the hearables, right? The increased sales with, AirPods, Apple Watches, and all that, and achieving more than 20% growth year over year, as a lot of people during the pandemic, had a lot of purchases related to those. So, and somewhat related to that, is this article here, and this is actually a price target increase. So what this individual is talking about, Evercore, the firm, and analyst Amit Duryanani is talking about is the next multi-billion-dollar opportunities that could further drive value creation, and in that he's raising the price target from Apple of 163 to 175, right? So already 163 is a great kind of upside from where we sit today, but if we talk 175, right, that's kind of taking it up another notch. So that's great news for us. Bull case in this case is 225, bear case is 90. So right off the bat, right, the bull case is not a double, but pretty darn close to a double. 90 is only about $30 away, right? So a lot more upside than downside, which is kind of how I view Apple as well. I'm bullish on Apple. For those of you that have watched me for a while, you know that for a fact. I'm holding my Apple shares strong. So this analyst talks about the services and wearables business, which is exactly what we talked about in yesterday's video, seeing a clear path to 100 billion in services revenue by FY25 and 70 billion for wearables, right? So wearables we talked about yesterday. Services is something that I've kind of harped on over and over again, where when Apple moves forward, that's going to be one of the biggest things that they do. It has to be, because it's a recurring revenue, right? So whether it's iCloud, Apple Music, Apple Fitness, all these services that they're able to provide, once you kind of start the opportunity cost and the exit kind of cost, right, for you to take all your music from Apple Music and transfer it to Spotify, or for you to stop using the fitness app or whatever it may be, that's sort of the great factor in that it's recurring revenue, right? So again, it can help smooth out the cyclical nature of the hardware business, right? You get a lot of sales when the iPhone comes out in September. You get maybe a lot of sales in the Christmas timeframe. But then we take this little bit of a breather between new cycles and between new products, right? But what this is going to do is it's going to make sure that, the services, if it's a bigger part, that revenue is going to come in, and it's going to come in year round. It's not going to see the kind of ups and downs that the hardware business sees, right? So that's what we're talking about, you guys. These initiatives, healthcare, advertising, Apple Car, AR, VR, could contribute 40 to 80 cents to EPS, or about 20% of the total. So that's what we're talking about, and this is what we talked about yesterday, right? The Q4 wearable sales driven by strong AirPods and Watch sales. So again, really good bull case by Apple, 225, but really 175 price target from 163. So again, this individual, this analyst is talking about the upside that they see, which is also the upside that hopefully we want to see moving into the near future. So let's take a look here at what we see. I'm going to hit the 1-day chart for us real quick, and we can get right into the video. So, yesterday we closed above this 123.69 level, and we talked about the push towards 126.69 happening today. Let me get rid of these EMAs for just a second. So yeah, we pushed up, gapped up just a little bit, right? And then we started to push up in the pre-market. And right out of the gate, right, we played around VWAP for about half an hour or so. Then we made a push at the 126.60s level, barely made it above, came right back down, bounced off VWAP, again rejected by this level, came down, and then we pushed up finally breaking it. Unfortunately though, it did not sustain for too long. As you can see, we were there for maybe like 5-10 minutes. Then we bounced around the level and broke right below, even fell below VWAP. Pushed up, didn't have enough strength to make it through VWAP, 124.72, and then we finally came up kind of, into the close. So things that I like is that, first of all, we are green on the day. We did push above this 126.65. We did have enough strength to kind of break through that level. Unfortunately, though, we did not sustain that. We ended the day below VWAP, which is something that I don't like. We did stay above the level that we crossed yesterday in the 123.60s. So that's definitely good news. But if you take a look at SPY, you guys, the S&P 500, right, pretty similar. We had a little bit of a push up, making another all-time high, but then we kind of gave a lot of that up. Same thing with the NASDAQ, only up 0.09. The Dow Jones is actually red for the day, and S&P was slightly red on the day too, right? So on a day like that, when everything else, right, take a look at the NASDAQ, sold off a lot, and then ended up red for the S&P 500, right? I'm not kind of complaining about Apple being a little red on the day. So that's what we're looking at there. Now let's get to our daily chart. We'll take a look at future levels of support, future levels of resistance. So a couple things happened, right? We were starting to push up for about 3 days in a row now. The thing that I like is since pretty much this last Monday, when we had this 116 fall, we've pushed up for 3 days, making higher high, higher low. We had a little bit of a pullback as we were talking about, right? And now we've pushed up again. We've made higher high, higher low for another 2 days, which is great. Today's candle isn't super pretty. The point though is that we did move up. We did have a green day. So MACD crossed over yesterday. I know one of you guys pointed that out to me as well. I usually use my Thinkorswim, so I don't know if I have it set up over here. Let's see if this comes up. Uh-oh. There it is. Okay, yeah, so we got that MACD crossover yesterday, you guys, which is definitely a bullish sign. So we're seeing that happening. We're seeing, good volume coming in, into the market overall, hopefully with the stimulus, as we talked about, right? There was some news that about 40 billion now, another article that I read is talking about 40 billion going into crypto in the stock market. So as people start to see that, which maybe is expected to be tomorrow, right? That could be a little bit of a catalyst for us too. Now let's talk about future levels of support, future levels of resistance, as we always like to do. First things first, right? If we go down, the first level that we kind of have to break above, the first level that we can bounce from is this 123.69. And then we got the 8 EMA at 122.75 and then 121.48. Those are the three levels that I'm watching if we start to head down. Remember that the key here that we talked about yesterday was coming above the 89 EMA. That's at 125.11, so we did successfully get above that. It's a matter of now staying above that. We're only about 50 cents away, which I'm a little uncomfortable about. I'm a little kind of hesitant to say that, yes, we will for sure bounce. I'm going to need to see that bounce happen at 125.11. But that's the key kind of level that I'm looking at for the rest of this week for us to stay above. Look, I talked about these supports that we have, 122.60s, 8 EMA, but we need to stay above the 89 EMA, establish that strong base. We've been below it for about 2 weeks almost. So it's really important that we stay above it in the low 125s. And if we start to push up, right, same level that we pushed up today, 126.60s, which is also kind of where a lot of the EMAs are. And then 128. I think once we can clear the high 126s and we can close above 127, we get above all these exponential moving averages. And now when we're coming down, where we've got a ton of different exponential moving averages to bounce off of, which is great news for us. Right now we've got a couple, but we need to close above them. We need to establish them as a really good level of support for us to then push above them. So that's what I'm looking at, you guys, for the rest of this week. Great price target upgrade, great bull case made by the analyst. I definitely agree with that. As always, I'm holding on to my Apple shares and selling covered calls against them. I've got one this week. It's a little aggressive. It's at 127.50. And it looked like, it got above 127 today. So if it gets to the 127.50, I'm probably just going to roll it out. No worries, not letting those Apple shares go. So hopefully they don't get called away. And then continuing to hold that July call that I'm still down on. I've held it for a few weeks now. And remember that kind of sell off that we had. but I have until July, so I'm holding on to those. I think I'm probably like 25-30% down on that, to keep it 100% honest with you guys, but holding it because I do see the potential in Apple. So holding my shares, selling covered calls against them, and then got that long call that I mean, it's up decently this week, so I'm hoping that continues, hoping we get up there, but we'll see how it goes. So that's all I had for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.